it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peeps that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to welcome you to a magnificent Monday. Really excited because actually today we get to throw back to an amazing interview I got to capture with Larissa FastHorse, one of the primary writers for the reimagined Peter Pan that's happening with Broadway across America. And it was just here recently, just wrapped up this past weekend, but it was just here in the Seattle area. And so we're going to do a spotlight kind of shining in on how they were able to reimagine this story for today's audience. But of course, you know it's the top of the show, so it's the perfect time for you to tag and share this stream right here. That's right. You're helping us grow. Share this show with folks who you feel could benefit from the daily dose of dopeness we work to give you here on The Day with Trae. And if you can't watch our show, we still have you covered because you can listen to our show anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. You'll find us on whichever platform is your favorite. Now, before we get into it and throw back to this amazing interview with Larissa, I just wanted to say that one of the great things around how people are diversifying not only the producers and the cast, but also folks who are behind the scenes making decisions around all types of live performances. It's beautiful because the audience is experiencing that diversity and seeing themselves in cast, in shows that maybe for decades they really couldn't imagine themselves being in, or oftentimes there was maybe one person who was of the global majority, and you know, it was like, oh, okay, that one person is what they could stomach or something like that. But I love being a patron of live performances and really diving into the artworks that have been bringing themselves to the Seattle greater metro area and seeing that folks are sincere in their commitment to really open up the doors for so many talented individuals that are representatives of the global majority. It's a beautiful thing to see because I've been able to see it in ballet, opera, theater, I mean, even in art gallery shows, really showcasing artworks from diverse audiences, diverse backgrounds, folks who are bringing their lived experience to their work. It's a beautiful thing to see. But I'm grateful that we get to actually talk to Larissa after this break. Y'all will hear how she was talking about bringing her passion to this body of work with something that we know so well. You know, the story of Peter Pan has had ups and downs, and over the years, a lot of stories like Peter Pan that come from a certain era, honestly, we're telling the time of that time. And as times have progressed, you know, the stories need to progress. The representation needs to progress. So I love seeing that that's happening in all types of these kind of stories that we've known for many generations. So after this short break, y'all, you could definitely want to come back because I get the chance to dive in with Larissa FastHorse and we talk all about Peter Pan. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Here on Back to Vesa, it's always been important to me that we uplift stories from across the region and that no matter where you live in the nation, you never have to miss a moment of the show as we continue to highlight the beauty, excellence, and resilience of our communities across the Pacific Northwest. Why? Because representation matters. So no matter where you live, be it the Central District or Centralia, Portland or Pullman, or anywhere across the country, I encourage you to join me on this Back to Vesa journey by downloading the free Fox Local app on your phone or smart TV as we continue to elevate the very best in our communities.
I learned about the ONU program through many different community organizations. The program, they're very good at making sure that you meet the right people. My favorite part would have to be the community building and also the volunteer opportunities as well. I've been working on my physical health a lot more. I've been intentional about that and they're very big on that. I'm still learning how transformational it is because there's just so much opportunity. It's a great program and they will support you.
Visit the link at the end of this video to learn more.
Hey, 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 hey.
United Business Connections, 3rd annual back to school function, pop-up shopping, and resource fair. Saturday, August 31st, 2024, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Live DJ with live performances. We have a petting zoo, healthcare information, job opportunities. We're giving away free backpacks. Sponsored by Arms Around You, 11805 Renton Avenue South, Seattle, Washington, 98178. Stop the gun violence.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I'm really excited about this interview with Larissa FastHorse. I'm so glad that she was able to make some time to join me in the Black Media Matter studios to tell us all about Peter Pan that's going across Broadway, across America right now with STG Presents. It was here at the Paramount Theater just this past weekend as it wrapped up. But of course, there are many shows happening. Just listen in to what Larissa has to say about the show. What's up, everybody? Trae Holiday here from The Day with Trae, and I have a special interview that I get to bring to you today. I'm actually excited because Broadway Across America has Peter Pan going on right there at the Paramount Theater for STG, and we got Larissa FastHorse in the building. Hi, Larissa.
Hey, I'm so thrilled to be here.
Yeah, well, we're so glad to have you here. And, you know, we have been like missing our Broadway Across America family, so it's great to have you here. Tell us a bit about your kind of start, right? You're an award-winning writer. You've written a lot of different works, and I would love to hear a little bit about your beginnings and your connection to Peter Pan.
Yeah, well, I started actually as a rare Native American ballet dancer from South Dakota. So that was my first career. And then, you know, you retire so young. I was almost 30 years old and retiring, and I had to find another career. So my husband's from LA, so I ended up working in film and TV first and in writing, which I love doing. And I really, I didn't quite find my place there. This was 15 years ago, before social media, when the depiction of Native American people in media was flawed, shall we say. And it was really frustrating. And so I got commissioned to write my first play during that time, and I just fell in love. I said, you know, this is Dancers with Furniture. I could do this. I get it. And American theater was really ready to do things differently and to really represent folks differently, accurately, and to have a wide variety of voices be a part of the ecosystem. And so I really felt like I found a home in American theater. Not to say there weren't a lot of obstacles and challenges there, but as I went through the years now, you know, my biggest known play before Peter Pan was the Thanksgiving play, which was on Broadway last year and has been all over the country. It's one of the top 10 most produced plays in the country. And that got me to Peter Pan because they, you know, needed someone who had what they call Broadway approvable credits to rewrite the show. And to be perfectly honest, I'm the only known Native American, you know, living writer that's been on Broadway. The last one that we know of was Lynn Riggs, who was in the beginning of the last century. So they came to me, which was great, but also complicated. You know, I had avoided Peter Pan. I only knew about the harm it had caused to a lot of people, and I really didn't want anything to do with it. You know, growing up, I hadn't seen it, I didn't watch it, I didn't read it. And so when they came to me, I immediately said, no, I don't want to do this. I told my agent, I'd tell them absolutely not. And then he said to me, well, could you read it? You know, be professional. Read the thing, read what they're asking you to rewrite, which is the Broadway version that Jerome Robbins did in the 1950s. And he said, just check it out, and then on Monday we can pass. I was like, fine, I'll do it. And I was shocked. Like, it's beautiful. There's a reason it's been here generation after generation. There's a reason this show has endured. And I think the last tour that Kathy Rigby did was like 30 years long. I mean, it's wild, yeah. And so I was like, okay, I get it. Like, there's so many beautiful things and complicated things about growing up and childhood. And I was like, yeah, we just need to make sure it doesn't cause harm.
Yeah. Well, this is really good to hear all of that history because honestly, you know, your fresh eye coming onto it and being able to kind of see the need when we talk about the need for diversity, the need for the cast to really reflect the changing of the times that you were experiencing even 15 years ago. Tell us a bit about how that's kind of explored in this show.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this Peter Pan. I've definitely taken a whole circle. So immediately I was like, no. And no, I really am proud of this show. I worked with director Lonnie Price, and he and I and our whole creative team were so committed to making this a show, not only that didn't cause harm, but a show that all children could see themselves in. And that was really important to us. So It wasn't just in the writing, it wasn't just in the corrections of things that were on stage, but it was in, you know, the cast and the way that the show is assembled, the way the characters, the backstories now of the characters, indigenous people and such, had to shift so that everybody can see themselves. The way women are portrayed has definitely shifted a lot in this show. And so we really focused hard on being sure that any child can come to the show and believe that Peter Pan could fly by their window, not just like wealthy Victorian children, not just white children, any children. And so our cast is this beautiful, beautiful cross-section of America, you know, and that's where we are. We're touring America for 2 years. And so it's this incredible cross-section. They're diverse, they're beautiful. They have so many, you know, different bodies inhabiting that stage right now. And we're really proud of that. And so it had to go from both the page and the stage together. It can't just be one or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's also a real indicator of how the audience experiences it. Because again, when folks can see themselves that on stage, it draws them into the story more. And so as y'all have been touring, how has the response from the audience been for this show and for the way that y'all have really revamped this story?
Yeah, I mean, we're fortunate. People have been really loving. I mean, certainly, if you change anything, somebody's going to be unhappy. And I understand that. And I respect that, you know, people have particular memories that are from their childhood, their experience that they might miss, that are no longer part of this particular version. And I totally respect that and I understand that. But I do say, like, give it a chance, you know, because I think, you know, there were so many people that were left out of the previous version that couldn't see it safely and couldn't see it in the same way. We have worked so hard to make sure that this version is a version that still feels like that classic Peter Pan, right? And so Lonnie Price, the director, I always called him the true believer. So he loved Peter Pan. He has loved it for generations, you know, decades and decades. And so he was our guide. I'd say, Lonnie, you know, what is the magic of this moment to a true Peter Pan lover? Why is this here? What can't be cut? And we left those things there, you know, and I really try to honor those people's memories, and at the same time, then make it something that you can bring your grandchild to, or your children, and you can be proud of it and not cringe and not say, well, accept those parts, or we don't have to have a talk afterwards. And so we've really tried hard to do that, and it's been really lovely. I was part of a talk back in one of the really early tour stops, and at this particular talk back was a predominantly white group of folks, and they were older, the subscribers, and one man said, you know, I came here ready to hate it. And he's like, you know what? And he said, I didn't hate it at all. In fact, he said, I loved it. Like, he said, I was surprised at how little you changed. Yeah. Which is interesting, because actually we've changed a lot. You know, it used to be a 3-hour tour intermission show. Now it's only 2 hours. You know, we've actually done quite a bit, but we did our job that we set out to do. Was we made him feel like that was still the experience he had as a child, and yet was something he could safely share with his grandchildren today.
Wow. I mean, that's really the beauty, I think, of theater and in evolving to the signs of the times. Yeah. You know, it has the propensity to do that, and it doesn't have to be stuck in, you know, the same old way of telling a story. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. I think, too, what we're experiencing probably across the country is the need for theater to respect and reflect those signs of the times. And so I love hearing that Peter Pan is now really kind of a part of that, right? For so many. And now across generations, folks can really enjoy this show. So thank you for all the work that you've done to bring it to light. And I'm looking forward to seeing it for sure with my son. But of course, I got to give you time. You're going to look right there in that camera. Let folks know why they need to come and see Peter Pan.
Oh my goodness. You need to come to Peter Pan to believe in magic. You need to come to Peter Pan to remember what it's like to be a child, but also come to Peter Pan to remember what it's like to grow up. There's beautiful things at every end of life, and that's the incredible thing about this show, is it celebrates all of it.
Wow. Larissa, thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations.
Thank you.
First Native female to be doing what you're doing. I mean, seriously, the doors that you are opening for others is quite astonishing, and I'm truly honored that you spent some time with me today to share your story, but also the love you're pouring into this amazing show. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Wow, y'all. What a great way to just kind of give you a glimpse of what you can expect at Peter Pan. You want to get your tickets for the Paramount, get them today. Go and see this amazing show. Clearly, we are going to be in for a treat with some of the changes that the story is giving us. And for those of you who love the show, there's also all of the staples that will be present for you. So make sure you're getting your tickets today. Thanks for watching, y'all. Wow, shout out to Larissa FastHorse and to Broadway Across America and STG. The Seattle Theater Group is a great partner of ours, and it's so amazing, honestly, for me. Y'all have heard me say it a bunch of times, but as a theater kid, to be able to interview folks like her and get a well-rounded grasp of how these stories are being shaped by folks like her, to be able to bring her talent into it. I mean, she has a vast amount of experience, and honestly, it was really great to connect with her on that and sharing how Peter Pan has morphed. And let me tell you, I was so excited about this show, y'all. I got to take my son, and we were both like, okay, she said experience the magic, and we definitely experienced the magic. So if you're someone who loves these shows and you didn't get a chance to check it out while it was here, please look it up and find the city closest to you so that you can go and check out Peter Pan. It was definitely full of magic, and it was one that was amazing for all families, and it was representative in a way that we haven't always seen Peter Pan be. So thanks again, Larissa, for joining me. After this short break, y'all, we're gonna wrap up all of this magic right after this. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
In your 40s, your body break down.
The comedy of Leslie Jones.
You trying to have sex after 46? Put my leg down! Put my leg down!
The hilarious Leslie Jones.
I got osteoporosis.
Don't miss Leslie Jones.
Thank you so much.
Disenrollment is a situation whereby people whose birthright to be indigenous is being stolen from them by politicians that have been elected to lead.
Today, the latest or last chapter of the saga concerned the threatened physical ejectment of as many as 21 Nooksack families from their homes.
I think it come about by hatred for our family. That's what it's all about.
Our bloodline is still here. They can't get rid of us.
Start the show.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. What a great way to start the week off. Huge shout out again to Larissa and to the partners over there at Broadway Across America and STG. We appreciate all of their support of The Day with Trae. And honestly, I always love being able to bring, these kinds of interviews to y'all so you can see some of the folks who are behind these amazing works that we see on stage. There's so much that goes into it. So I'm glad she was able to take a sliver of time and join me so we could share some of her background and why she's doing what she's doing today when it comes to bringing these artworks to all of you out there in the audience. Well, that's it for me today, y'all. Again, thanks for starting your week off with me. I will be back with you tomorrow. And until then, at 11 a.m., y'all, peace. Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.